What? Huh? What? What?
The meeting room. Yes, that's where everyone would be. Stanley just needed to get to the meeting room, and from then on, he would never be alone ever again.
What the fuck happened? Did I get overwhelmed or? Everything just got so bright. Be my Valentine. It's not Valentine's Day, my dude. Oh, hello, you. Okay. Now. Leap of faith. Huh?
At first, Stanley assumed he'd broken the map until he heard this narration and realized it was part of the game's design all along. He then praised the game for its insightful and witty commentary into the nature of video game structure and its examination of structural narrative tropes. So, now that you're here, what do you think? Isn't this a fun and unique place to be? Why don't we take a minute just to drink it all in?
Sure.
Okay, I'm over it now. What do you think? Are you sick of this gag yet?
No.
Ah, then in that case, we'll continue. But now, here comes the real question. What do you think would have happened if you had told me that you wanted this to stop?
God damn it.
Do you think it would have been particularly different? Would I have taken the same idea but rephrased it superficially to fit that answer? Perhaps you never would even have thought of it if I hadn't brought up the issue in the first place. Oh, now think about it. Will it be worth it for you to restart and then come back here just to do the other option? Clearly, this whole gag takes some time. What if the other option is even longer? How long will you spend in total just to have heard all the narration? Oh, and this is rich. Perhaps you've just played the other option, and now you've come to see what happens in this one. So, what do you think? Which choice was the better one? Imagine if you had selected continue on your first playthrough, how tantalizing it would be not knowing what happens when you pick the other option. Indeed, you are one of the lucky ones. Though if the other option is really miserable to listen to, then perhaps you're not. In fact, I'm just going to say that no one who's listening to this is lucky. Well now, I've built up the other option so much that I'm going to stop talking and leave you to your decision whether to come back here, continue with the game, or just sit in this spot forever and ever. Cheers.
Huh? Ding? Cool. Oh, it's buttons. It's saying buttons. And now I gotta press them all. Oh no. No, don't tell me they unpress themselves. No. This is not heaven. This is... No, I won't be able to press them all. Damn it. Damn it. I wish I could press them all. Eventually they unpress themselves, so... Some people, for Stanley, this would be heaven. For me, it's hell, because I wouldn't be able to press them all. Alright, that's enough. Oh cool, that's always waiting input now, I guess.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo. No matter how hard Stanley looked, he couldn't find a trace of his co-workers. At first, Stanley assumed he'd broken the map until he heard this narration and realized it was part of the game's design all along. He then praised the game for its insightful and witty commentary into the nature of video game structure and its examination of structural narrative tropes. So, now that you're here, what do you think? Isn't this a fun and unique place to be? Why don't we take a minute just to drink it all in? Okay, I'm over it now. What do you think? Are you sick of this gag yet?
Well, I already did know.
Well, I don't know how to say this politely, but you could literally just hit escape and restart the game any old time you want. Like, right now. You could have done it just then. Now would also be an appropriate time to quit. Any of these points and so many, many more, all of them are appropriate. I'm enjoying what seems to be an internal conflict going on where you are literally unable to act on your own desires to restart the game. So, just to push the envelope, I'm going to try and make this as miserable as possible and see how long you can maintain.
The fuck is this?
There once was a man named Stanley, who people considered so manly. But the truth must be told, he was not very old and was quite particularly gangly. What Stanley liked most was buttons. He pushed them like some kind of glutton. He did it all day in a meaningful way, but his brain had long ceased to function. Which is why he is in this parable and lives an existence quite terrible. And if you are not strong and keep playing along, you too will become quite unbearable. Yes. You too will become quite unbearable.
That's some damn good acoustic guitar, though. That is a good acoustic, though. I like that. You say you wanted to make this miserable, but this is actually enjoyable for me because I love guitar. Alright. That was actually enjoyable. I love good acoustic guitars.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
Huh. Oh yeah, I'll have to cut this a bit. I'll get one more ending, but then I gotta deal with the real world. Good. What the fuck? Narrator? Narrator. That was not like that before.
When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left.
Psych!
This was not the correct way to the meeting room, and Stanley knew it perfectly well. Perhaps he wanted to stop by the employee lounge first, just to admire it.
One of these doors has to open. This is where the whiteboard.
Ah, yes, truly a room worth admiring. It had really been worth the detour after all, just to spend a few moments here in this immaculate, beautifully constructed room. Stanley simply stood here, drinking it all in.
Oh, I can't take a seat.
Yes, really, really worth it being here in the room. A room so utterly captivating that even though all your co-workers have mysteriously vanished, here you sit looking at these chairs and some paintings. Really worth it.
Hey, put on the acoustic guitar again and it'd be a nice little relaxation spot.
At this point, Stanley's obsession with this room bordered on creepy and reflected poorly on his overall personality. It's possible that this is why everyone left. Stanley sat around waiting for more dialogue, but when a long time had passed and there was no more, he decided that the game was trying to send him a message.
Oh, now you realize. Okay. Alright. A short history of something, something, something. What's it about this place? The weeks I've spent here, they feel like mere seconds. Sounds. Also, I'm hungry. I admit I have trouble reading cursive sometimes.
But at last, he'd had enough of the amazing room and took the first open door on his left to get back to business.
What's over here? Let me back in. Oh, I can't even click on the door. Are the clocks actually keeping up with the real time? Huh. The pen is right.
Stanley was so bad at following directions, it's incredible he wasn't fired years ago.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Can I get on these? No. Can I get on this? No. Anyone got a key card? Do not jump from the cargo lift while it is in motion. Will cause death. Penalty for misuse of cargo lift, $1,000. Penalty for jumping off the cargo lift, $5,000. What was this? Vent access for trained employees only. Climate change. Oh. Vent? What vent? Oh? Hello? Ah, it's dark. What? What's that? I can't read that.
Stanley had now gotten himself so far off the beaten path that it seemed the office had begun so far off the beaten path that it seemed the office had begun so far off the beaten path that it seemed the office had begun so far off the beaten path that it seemed the office had begun was so far off the beaten path that it seemed the office had begun was so far off the beaten path that it seemed the office had begun was so far off the beaten path
Narrator
that it seemed the
dialogue?
office had begun was so far off the beaten path that it seemed the office had begun was so far off the beaten path that it seemed the office had begun was so far off the beaten path that it seemed the office had begun was so far off the beaten path.
What the fuck is all this?
Narrator
dialogue.
That it seemed the
Narrator
office had begun
dialogue.
was so far off the beaten path that it seemed the office had begun was so far off the beaten path that it seemed the office had begun was so far off the beaten.
You didn't think I was actually just a recording, did you? What a silly and trite explanation that would be. All the back and forth between you and me, all the absurd adventures we've been through, and it all turns out I'm just a tape recording? It was all just in Stanley's head. I bet that's the kind of twist you think is revelatory. I bet each and every time you watch a movie where it turns out all to be in the main character's imagination, you must absolutely bolt off the couch in pure shock at the phenomenal
that's bad
and intricate
storytelling, honestly.
storytelling. It must be so simple to be you. Life being an unending waterfall of surprises and delights. How much more exciting you must find the world than the rest of us do. Now I've become sad. Look what you've done to me. This is all your fault.
What? Just straight back here? Seriously? I didn't think you'd be a recording, but... A phone call?
Good morning. Thank you for contacting the Future Happiness Foundation. We are confirming your shipment of 1,327 cardboard boxes to your place of work. Can you verify that this is correct? Excellent. Your order will arrive shortly.
No.
Thank you again for contacting the Future Happiness Foundation.
No, I didn't want 1,327 boxes. This isn't even my desk. Oh, that's why you got fired. Narrator? I didn't think you'd be a fucking tape, but... But now I'm sad about the cat. Oh. Wait, he's not talking. Hey, open up. It's... Well, no, 420 was a couple days ago. Open up!
When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left.
After shoot, I don't have a coin. Any, mini, money, mo.
This was not the correct way to the meeting room, and Stanley knew it perfectly well. Perhaps he wanted to stop by the employee lounge first, just to admire it.
One of these days, one of these doors is gonna open. How does he even go in there? Where does that go?
Wow. Yes, this room. What a beautiful room. What a gorgeous, gorgeous room. Thank goodness Stanley had taken this detour on his way to the meeting room. Life without having experienced this room was now too horrible even to consider.
Yes. It's a lovely, blue. It is a nice blue, actually.
Yes, really, really worth it being here in the room. A room so utterly captivating that even though all your co-workers have mysteriously vanished,
Can I have coffee?
here you sit looking at these chairs and some paintings. Really worth it.
Can I have some coffee? No? Not even gonna let me drink coffee. Poor old Stanley's in the left.
At
Have a
this
cup of
point,
coffee.
Stanley's obsession with this room bordered on creepy. and reflected poorly on his overall personality. It's possible, but at last he'd had enough of the amazing room and took the first open door on his left to get back to business.
Nope.
Stanley was so bad at following directions, it's incredible he wasn't fired years ago.
But will anything be different?
Look, Stanley, I think perhaps we've gotten off on the wrong foot here. I'm not your enemy, really, I'm not. I realize that investing your trust in someone else can be difficult, but the fact is that the story has been about nothing but you all this time. There's someone you've been neglecting, Stanley. Someone you've forgotten about.
Really?
Please, stop trying to make every decision by yourself. Now, I'm not asking for me, I'm asking for her.
Can I make that jump?
This is it, Stanley. Your chance to redeem yourself. To put your work aside. To let her back into your life. She's been waiting.
I wanna explore. Let me explore, damn it. Wait. Damn it. I don't think I can make it. Okay.
That's her, Stanley. You need to be the one to do this. To reach out to her. If you can truly place your faith in another, then pick up the phone.
Can I leave? No. Alright. Hello, hello.
Oh, Stanley, is that you? Hold on, sweetie. Sorry to keep you waiting. I'm just pulling the bread out of the oven. All right.
Homemade bread.
Okay, there we go. All right, now, I want you to come in and tell me all about your day.
Gotcha. Oh, come on. Did you actually think you had a loving wife who'd want to commit their life to you? I'm trying to make a point here, Stanley. I'm trying to get you to see something. Come inside. Let me show you what's really going on here.
No. No, 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 no.
Sorry, but you're in my story now.
45? 46? Lampshade? Fuck. Honey, I'm home.
This is a very sad story about the death of a man named Stanley.
I'm sorry? Press... You actually recognize that I'm using a controller?
Stanley is quite a boring fellow. He has a job that demands nothing of him, and every button that he pushes is a reminder of the inconsequential nature of his existence. Look at him there, pushing buttons, doing exactly what he's told to do. Now he's pushing a button. Now he's eating lunch. Now
I want to go
he's
home.
going home. No,
This is not home.
He's coming back to work.
I want to go home.
One might even feel sorry for him, except that he's chosen this life. But in his mind, he can go on fantastic adventures. From behind his desk, Stanley dreamed of wild expeditions into the unknown, fantastic discoveries of new lands. It was wonderful. And each day that he returned to work was a reminder that none of it would ever happen to him.
Okay.
And so he began to fantasize about his own job. First, he imagined that one day while at work, he stepped up from his desk to realize that all of his co-workers, his boss, everyone in the building had suddenly vanished off the face of the earth. The thought excited him terribly.
Press down to spend time with the boys.
So he went further. He imagined that he came to 2 open doors and that he could go through either. At last, choice. It barely even mattered what lay behind each door.
Neither of
The
these doors
mere
are open.
thought that his decisions would mean something was almost too wonderful to behold.
Dinner?
As he wandered through this fantasy world, he began to fill it with many possible paths and destinations.
No, let me out. Let me out.
Down one path lay an enormous round room with monitors and mind controls. And down another was a yellow line that weaved in many directions. And down another was a game with a baby. And he called it the Stanley Parable.
What the fuck is this? Press A?
It was such a wonderful fantasy, and so in his head he relived it again, and then again, and again, over and over, wishing beyond hope that it would never end, that he might always feel this free.
Yep.
Surely there's an answer down some new path, mustn't there be? Perhaps if he played just one more time.
Press Y to tell your wife you love her?
But there is no answer. How could there possibly be? In reality, all he's doing is pushing the same buttons he always has. Nothing has changed. The longer he spends here, the more invested he gets, the more he forgets which life is the real one.
Oh dear. Press right to go to sleep?
And I'm trying to tell him this, that in this world he can never be anything but an observer, that as long as he remains here, he's slowly killing himself. But he won't listen to me. He won't stop. Here, watch this. Stanley, the next time the screen asks you to push a button, do not do it.
Okay, I won't do it. I'll count 29, 26, 25, 24, 23. 17. Nothing's. I have to press it. I literally.
You see? Can he just not hear me? How can I tell him in a way that he'll understand that every second he remains here, he's electing to kill himself?
Meow.
How can I get him to see what I see? How can I make him look at himself?
Please press down to question nothing. But I'm questioning everything right now. Fuck.
I suppose I can't. Not in the way I want him to. But I don't make the rules. I simply play to my intended purpose, the same as Stanley. We're not so different, I suppose. I'll try once more to convey all this to him. I'm compelled to. I must. Perhaps, well, maybe this time he'll see. Maybe this time. And I tried again.
What?
And Stanley pushed a button.
No. No.
And I tried again.
Let me out.
And Stanley pushed a
Let
button.
me out.
And I